going to start, because Congress certainly has a role, a major role. I'm going to start with a general question, but it requires an answer with some degree of specificity. We started with Mark. Name the top 3 foreign policy issues facing our nation and the world today. 30 seconds.
I would say the first is energy security, the fact that we're relying on oil that's sold by dictators. We can get green energy that will help us in our foreign policy. Number 2 is aggression from foreign leaders. I look at Putin, I look at Iran, I look at the fact that some people don't want the United States to be the world policeman, but we don't, they do. And number 3, I look at the Syrian genocide. And yes, I call it a genocide because hundreds of thousands of people are being killed, it's destabilizing the Middle East. I have long supported no fly zone there. I know that's not popular with a lot of people, but I don't think genocide's not going to watch.
Shauna?
I learned is thinking that top foreign policy issue and its existence and what has happened was happening with their weapons of mass destruction. That's certainly top on the list. Afghanistan, the other thing, our military is supposed to vacate in December. The issue for us is whether we leave people in. Some of our officers in Afghanistan believe in nation building, but that has to come with the people.
Bruce?
I think we need to allow democracies to work, and sometimes it's a little bit ugly. But America needs to show great restraint and to realize that sometimes some of these countries will have some democratic rules we don't agree with. But we need to be patient with this and much more non-interventionist and let them work it out. We should be much more on the sideline. We should speak with much softer voice and have a more manageable stick. And good things will happen. People want to be free.
I believe in diplomacy, the opportunity past several years and more recently since September to travel to Turkey, Taiwan, Saudi Arabia, and all over Europe. And so I know what people think and what they feel about our country, and certainly the issues that are international. I think it's cybersecurity, it's certainly terrorism, and it's also energy. Just more recently, just the other day, the State Department issued warnings to Americans all over the world, particularly in Europe, that to be on the lookout and be careful when you travel simply because the terrorists are out to get us.
Don?
Number 1, we cannot allow a nuclear Iran. We'll set off a nuclear arms race in the Middle East with Egypt and Saudi Arabia. We'll threaten the very existence of Israel. Second, we must do all we can to avoid a second Cold War, with Putin's aggression in Crimea, moving up to the borders of all those Eastern European countries. And number 3, climate change. We cannot do that by ourselves. As John Kerry said, climate change is the greatest weapon of mass destruction.
I think Don stole 2 of my points, regardless of who said it. Threats of nuclear weapons in the hands of rogue states, dreams of expansionism by Russia, and hijacking of planes and ships in the international space are the 3 issues really in the international world. Foreign policy issues that we can deal with, and the solution is we need an old-fashioned carrot and stick policy with diplomacy and military action in the back.
I met with the Truman Group who gave me a debriefing on just this issue. And what they talked about is the biggest threat is cyber security. That we are equipped with some of the best equipment for war, but cyber war, we've got to come up with 21st century solutions for this 21st century problem. Because we could be shut down as a nation. That is something that we really need to put more innovation in and be on top of. And that's a huge threat.
Number 1 is definitely climate change, because this is an international issue. I am very concerned about Putin being a bully over there and invading Crimea. We need to solve that problem. And thirdly, I'll just speak generically when I say that we do too much nation building elsewhere. We need to do more nation building back here at home and start investing more in America.
The top 3 spots are Russia, nuclear Iran, and the Syrian regime and their atrocities. and climate change and cybersecurity are certainly the weapons, among others. But threats to democracy anywhere are serious and can't be ignored. And at the same time, in Iraq and Afghanistan, we saw the limits to American military intervention. So we have to focus our efforts on diplomacy before the fact and on sanctions after the fact or during the fact.